thanks for coming on. You are the second band that I've had on so far, which is kind of saying something. I started this whole thing back in January before all this crap obviously went down. And I figured I'd hoped I had a band signed by now by the end of the year. But, obviously all this crazy crap's gone through. And now I'm just kind of meeting bands and talking through with them on the podcast. So go ahead and introduce you guys and say who you are and where you're from.
I'm Tyler. I play the drums.
I'm John and I sing.
I'm Josh and I play bass. And
I'm Mike and I play guitar.
they're from Ohio. They're not from Ohio, but they're from Elwood City. I'm from Newcastle originally, but I live in Pittsburgh currently.
It's all Pittsburgh, man.
It's all Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
But we play pop punk and we try to play you should say that. Right. But we try to keep a lot of our influences from back in the day.
Oh yeah.
But we kind of use the more modern structure of the song.
Mm-hmm.
So at least that's what I've noticed.
I don't know. I just think it's we just can't help but write like that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I was gonna say you guys definitely write like that.
Yeah.
Consistently.
I don't know how to write the super new stuff like that.
The super new stuff.
I don't know how to say it. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I know exactly what he means.
There's a really modern pop punk sounds distinguished, and I just can't write them.
Yeah. Well, I'm 38, so I've been around the block a little bit with pop punk, and I feel like the newer pop punk is more kind of emo driven. So I don't know, you guys, I feel like is a little bit more traditional early 2000s pop punk, maybe a little bit pushing into the easy core riffs and stuff. So
yeah.
Not breakdowns or anything, I don't think, but at least from what I've heard.
Yeah.
We both, and we all like metal a lot too. So
cool. And you guys are called the Middle Room, right? Where did that come from?
Take it away,
Tyler.
It was just a room that I grew up in.
It's in the middle.
It was in the middle of the house.
Yep.
And everybody in the house called it the middle room. You know what I mean? That's just what it was. Because it wasn't my bedroom. It was at my grandparents' house, so I didn't have a bedroom there. It was just the room in the house that everybody called the middle room that I just put all my shit in and called mine. And,
Staked claim.
and then I drive past that house every day going to work now. 20 years later, and I just thought of it one day when I was driving by. I was like, if I'm ever in a band again, I'm gonna call it that.
And we just said okay.
Yeah.
Well, if you feel that strongly about it, fine.
Yeah. That's how it was.
That's what it was.
When did you guys start?
Tricky question.
It goes in a timeline of things. My old band broke up. We were called Drop the Act. And I was like, whatever, guys, you're quitting. I'm going to start a new band. So I started a new band. I hit up our singer, Johnny, and my cousin, Damien, who was originally in the mix-up. And we started, and then he got Tyler to join. And then over a period of time, Mikey joined, I would say, about 3 months later, maybe 4.
Probably 3 months, yeah.
Yeah.
And then
The end of the summer, probably.
my cousin Damien left, and then that's when we officially started, was, I would say, over in August, September-ish.
Of this year or last year?
Last year.
Last year.
Okay.
Summertime last year, because they had a full band that I wasn't in, and I didn't even know about it.
And they were your friends?
These two, our singer, and 3 other guys. And they were on the band, all cool guys and everything. But they ended up hitting me up just to come jam. And I came and jammed, and it just worked out to where it was just us 4. And that's when the band, I guess, actually started.
That's when I consider it actually starting, but it formed kind of.
In May.
That's how it formed.
Yeah.
That's cool. That's actually not too long ago, man. I mean, I feel like most bands that started last year really never got off the ground because of this whole season, And you guys just released that EP. Was that in January that you guys released that, or when was that? Or was that recent?
Well, we released, like, we've been releasing singles throughout the year. Like, we released two singles in January?
I think we released Run and Better Than Here.
Was that in January or February?
That was in January.
Whatever. January, and then
within the first 3 months of this year, we had 3 singles out.
Yeah. And then in August, we had another single, and we just lumped all those together onto a little EP. Even though it's not an EP, it's just 4 singles, you know what I mean?
Just threw it out there.
So we consider what we just dropped like a couple weeks ago the debut EP, you know, like the real thing. Other stuff was just dipping our toe in.
And like all of that, the prior stuff, that was getting recorded like this time last year.
Yeah.
So we started pretty much just a couple months after he joined. And that's when we started recording for that. And then for the EP that we just put out a couple weeks ago, we did all of that.
In June.
In June. It was in June, yeah.
Dang, so that's almost kind of like the height of the mess when everyone was kind of
Yeah,
super locked down.
Yeah, it was. It was the height of the mess, but Luke found
Where'd you do that at?
to come up.
We did that in John's house.
Yeah,
John's house.
Nice.
Our producer, we kept the same, our friend Luke, we kept the same guy to do both things, but he ended up moving right after we did the first round of recording for the first EP that we did. And so it made it rough with COVID, because now not only does he have to fly up here to ever do anything, now there's COVID. And we had to delay it like by 2 months at one point. But it had to get done. And Luke wanted to come anyway.
Yeah, he wanted to come up and like see some of his old friends up here too. So we were just like, if you're cool with it, just come up and stay with us, and that's what we did.
But like looking back on that part to where it's at right now it's way worse than it was.
Oh, yeah.
Tracking that.
At least in our area.
Yeah. My family's from the Midwest, like outside Chicago. And so, I guess it's hitting everything in the Midwest hard. I feel like it kind of hit the edges first, and then, as it came towards the middle, everyone's kind of, after summer, now everyone's kind of getting attacked by it.
Yeah. It's pretty bad around here. It's not as bad as it is a lot of other places, but
I'm getting quite a few close calls with clients.
Yeah, like he's had close calls. Our singers had close calls, so we're just masked up, just trying to do the thing.
My work's starting to get hit hard.
Yeah,
like, off all over the place. Yeah,
we've had a few of my work, so.
And my wife had a couple at her work, but we actually already had it. I told these guys earlier, like me and my wife actually already had it.
Oh, really? I didn't.
Yeah. And my family, my parents, her parents, everybody already kind of had it. It like went like ba-doom. We didn't even know we had it, and then everybody had it. And
everybody in my mill thinks that we all have it in January.
I thought that too, because I went to NAM and we had like. Here's funny. I went to NAM and I was in the basement. And the basement of NAM is always like knockoffs, Phil, or like the small people that are making stuff in like the garage, which is always really cool. But it's also knockoff stuff from overseas. And there's like 4 different places from Wuhan that was down there. And I got sick when I got back, and I was like, it was the worst sickness I've had in a while. And I was like, oh, what's wrong with me? And then when all that stuff came, I must have already had it. No, I didn't already have it.
No.
So. But yeah, it was over. It sucked, and it was whatever.
I'm glad you're okay and your family as well.
Yeah. Everybody turned out okay, so no big deal for that, at least. So, what do you guys kind of have planned for the future? I mean, what are you kind of looking at? I see you do a couple of videos. I think an AP picked one of them up.
Yeah. So we pretty much make all those videos ourselves. We edit them ourselves. So it's pretty much like sky's the limit. We're just going to keep pumping them out until we record more music, really. That's the big plan.
We're going to film one right after this.
Yeah.
I actually really liked because I think I saw it a few months ago, the funny like cowboy one or whatever, the country one. That was freaking hilarious. I remember seeing that.
It was my first time trying chew, and I threw up.
Oh gosh, it happens.
Yeah. It was a fun time though. I actually since that song was a cover, and like in the video, she's like naked on that horse. We wanted John to be naked on the tractor that this guy had in his
It would have happened for sure. It would have happened.
It would have, but the guy who was playing this film at his barn was actually a buddy of mine from work, and like where we work, it's like super manly and like it's a steel mill, you know. So you know you can't really be having naked dudes on your tractor and let that slide at work. You know,
given enough beer to probably agree with it. Though.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, 2 cases.
2 cases.
We gave him 2 cases of beer.
We probably should have given more.
Yeah,
just to try and.
but we just showed up there one day and just filmed that whole thing real quick.
Yeah,
went to KFC right after.
We sure did. Really nice of him to let us do that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That barn was really nice.
Oh yeah.
It's like exactly.
That's actually really cool that you could do that actually in a place, you know, like where you're at, as opposed to like Los Angeles or any like.
Just thinking that.
Like, imagine if you go into Pittsburgh or whatever, you probably have a problem with it, but you know,
filming. Plenty of them. Yeah. Plenty of them. All barns.
Well, filming's probably easier where you're at, to where like you can actually probably go downtown and people might, like if you're hanging around with giant cameras, people might get annoyed after a while. But if you go to any major city, they're going to be coming out like, "Where's your permit?"
Oh yeah,
yeah.
I never really even thought about that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know, it's something like I guess where we live, you don't have to think about it.
You don't have to think about that.
Yeah, we live just far enough away from the actual city that we don't really get a lot of the city problems.
Yeah.
And even if we went into Pittsburgh, like there's probably only certain places where they would yell at you if you had a camera out doing something.
Yeah.
If you're not blocking traffic or you know.
Yeah, because we've done it before. Like we've gone down and shot like B-roll stuff. Of us just doing dumb shit in Pittsburgh, like in the city. And
you can get away with a lot of stuff here in LA if it's not any bigger than a DSLR. Like once you start getting the box, you know, the red cameras and things, then they're like, no, give me money.
Yeah. I mean, that's all we have though. It's just a normal, like a Canon M50 is what it is. And it's what we use for everything.
It's all you need, man.
Yeah, it's
honestly.
Heck, I mean, you could actually use most of your cell phones nowadays are looking good enough to where it's not a big deal.
Yeah,
which is surprising for me, at least.
Yeah, maybe we should try that next.
I don't want to.
Yeah. I mean, there's no need. We have the camera.
Yeah, you got the camera already. Awesome.
Like matching red hat.
Oh yeah.
I love how John is just not answering us. It has to be. Has to be.
So what do you guys do for jobs?
We both work in mills.
Yeah, a steel mill. You're in Pittsburgh.
I'm a social worker, and I work with the kids with disabilities and adults with mental illness.
Yeah, John has a really cool job. He loves to talk about it. It's like he probably likes his job more than he likes the band.
Yeah.
But he's not here to talk about it. So
he's a writer.
Oh.
Like, he just writes for like a bunch of blogs and journals and stuff like that.
I was gonna say, so he's like a journalist.
Yeah, in a way, yeah.
Kind of.
He does, and he like, I guess he interviews people now.
Yeah,
he feels really.
He's real happy
about that. Really happy about that.
He's real happy about that. I mean, it's cool
to see like Benedict Cumberbatch on his next movie or something.
That would be amazing.
Cool.
Yeah, it's pretty normal stuff. Around here, anyway.
Every now and then.
If you don't do something like John does, if you don't do something like John or he does, you work in a mill around here.
Yeah.
All mills.
That's what.
No, I know. My family's all pipe fitters, like from Gary. Like they work at Gary, Indiana steel mills. So like they all wanted me to do that too. I'm like, no.
Yeah. I don't want to do it, but
I'm too clumsy. Like my brother's already told me about like 3 or 4 close calls where he almost like died. I'm like, I'm so clumsy, dude. I'm like, no, I would be like the first at the Darwin Awards there.
Yeah, that happens all the time where I work. Just people drop giant stuff up and just horrible things happening everywhere. But we just keep going like nothing happened.
The
Just
most
pretend it didn't happen.
the
Pick
most
up his finger and move forward, you know.
Seriously.
My friend's father, actually, he's an iron worker in the steel mills, and he lost like 2 digits or whatever.
Ooh.
But he's like a crazy funny dude, so he got these fake fingers that look so real, and they have like a ring on it, and he'd always be like, "Hey kids, pull my finger," and they'd pull a finger and it'd come off, and they'd be like, "Ah!" Like,
My dad, he lost a finger when he was working in the mill, and I didn't know it because I was like 4 or 5 years old and still thinking monsters existed. He's like, "We're gonna go hunt for monsters." So we were walking around with a can of Febreze because I can't read, and he goes into the closet, puts his hand in there, falls to the ground, pulls out his hand, and he shows his missing finger. He's like, "It took my finger!" And I'm like, "Ah!" Keep spraying him with Febreze. Don't know.
Nice.
About some monster spray.
That's why Josh is the way he is.
That's why he's the way he is, man.
There's so many.
Cool.
The worst I have to worry about for work is just getting drop kicked by children.
That can be very dangerous.
We do that.
I've had some times where, you know, kids of, you know, toddlers come running around, just knock you, you know, where you shouldn't be, and just go to the ground, you know.
Yeah.
Yep.
There's just that perfect height, you know.
Oh yeah. Somewhere.
Oh, during the perfect. No, they do it on purpose, man.
Oh, they definitely do it on purpose. My nephew hit my brother.
Yeah. Oh, it makes me so mad too. But I'm like, it's a kid. I'm not.
Nothing you can do.
Nothing you can do.
Can't do nothing.
So were you guys playing quite a few shows at the beginning of the year at least, or last year even?
No.
No.
We played one show over in Pittsburgh at the Thunderbirds Cafe, and beautiful venue. We were playing with Sleep On It and Between You and Me
And Barracks.
and Barracks, and they were all great.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It was an awesome show. It was awesome for our first show too.
Mm-hmm.
It's like you don't really get a first show like that.
No. Usually to work up to
Yeah.
a bill like that. Yeah.
When is that? I don't know.
I don't know how it happened, I guess.
Hmm.
Yeah,
I
maybe
did.
it was him. He took one for the team, I guess.
Something.
No.
You want to talk about it?
But it was awesome.
But then quarantine started
Like a week after.
like 6 days later.
Oh
Yeah.
dang.
So
The last band I had on was Out of Time, and they said they were like in the middle of a tour, I think, a couple states away when it hit, and they were all closing everything down. They're like, "Oh, we gotta get home."
At least we didn't get hit in the middle of the tour.
yeah.
I'd be so sad.
That would suck.
Yeah.
But
We
you know,
were supposed to record, like those songs we recorded in June, we were supposed to record them in March, but it didn't happen. It was like when that quarantine hit, it hit hard. We were still thinking about it. We were like, maybe you should come up, maybe. It just didn't happen. We waited like 3 months. It's the hardest,
Oh,
the
dude,
hardest
it was
3
the
months.
worst 3 months
The hardest 3
ever.
months of my life, probably.
Oh, that was awful because we were so excited.
Mm.
You know,
I was stoked.
we spent an entire week doing it. He came up for I think 8 days. Every single day we did a different song, and it was just fun. We took work off. We were so excited to do it, and then we had to wait.
Yeah.
But we actually wrote a lot in that time. Like we changed the songs a lot in that time. So
I was gonna say, like, that time probably actually helped you prepare a little bit more.
it,
Probably get
it,
ready for it.
really did.
it honestly changed the
The direction of the EP. I
yeah.
feel.
It changed.
It sounds really, really well done. So
Thanks.
Thank you.
It was all done in John's house. Just like we set the drums up in the living room, and we had the microphone set up in the corner with like curtains over them.
Yeah.
no,
Yeah.
like the last couple things I've done have been like at people's practice spots and whatnot. So
Oh, yeah. I mean, we're
Obviously
gonna do
everything.
that again too.
We're at
just
our
gonna-
practice spot right now.
We're just gonna do it here, and we're gonna do it better.
Yeah.
We're gonna do it.
better.
Yeah.
Much better.
I mean, yeah. There's really nowhere to go but up,
And we're gonna do that in a month.
Cool.
and not even like 2 weeks.
I was gonna say like 2 weeks.
So like I am trying. I'm planning on starting this record label, and I want to sign like one band in the first year. I don't want to do any more than that, because I want to be able to kind of like get some money rolling to maybe, you know, if I was going to have maybe 5 bands total or something on the label at some point in time, I definitely want to have all of the power that I can push behind the bands behind them, and not just be, there's too many labels out there that you got like 20 bands on it, and like, where's the money going? What are you going to do? And my whole focus, I don't know if you've listened to any of the podcasts or not, is more based on like not touring, but doing a lot more content online. And I think my view is that the music industry has kind of completely changed, and like rappers and pop, everybody kind of understands that, with the exception of like rock music, which is near and dear to my heart. And so like rock musicians for a very, very long time were just like not really wanting to get into any kind of content. I don't know if what they saw being beneath them, or didn't like it, or just felt uncomfortable, or what it is. But COVID's kind of helped push people more and more and more into that. So my whole plan is to sign a band, give them the equipment that they need, if they need it. Like you guys seem to have some equipment already, to do videos and demo recordings and everything else. Help them produce, mix, master, press, even t-shirts, merch, things like that, and kind of help package them up as like a digital marketing aspect, and just kind of help push them out that way, as opposed to tour around, try to get attention over here and there. I think more and more focus should definitely be put on marketing. How you guys feel about that?
I agree with you. He probably doesn't.
The only reason I would say I disagree is because I want to tour.
Yeah. I mean, we want to tour, but like,
But
I
you're
agree.
totally no, I agree with you.
Yeah, I agree.
I just personally, as a human, I want to live in a shitty van for a month with my friends.
Yeah. I do too.
Same.
You know, the thing about the content is, it's not like we're against it. We've been making content over and over. It's
So much.
We honestly just need fucking help. Like,
I just don't think we're like a lot of, especially with a lot of rock bands and people, like, we're not naturals, and a lot of us are like, we're weird, and like, I mean, those content creators are weird too, but we're weird in a bad way.
I wouldn't say that.
Everything that I've seen is not true like that. Like, I don't know how old you guys are, but at the turn of 2000s here, Blink-182 did a really, really good job of having a lot of video content on their webpage. They pretty much ran around with the camera doing hilarious, stupid stuff, like the crap you're talking about. Like he was naked. He wanted to put him naked on the freaking tractor and have him drive around or whatever. And I mean, they were doing that stuff before it was even popular, or before it could get out to as many people as you can get out to these days. So not saying that I want everybody to be naked in videos all the time, but
Yeah, we tried.
So we're down. Sure.
Yeah.
But I definitely want to be at some point in time to be putting out at least a video a week that's like well produced and well made. And then on top of it, have a lot of other smaller aspects, like maybe, doing live streams for, here's the new song this week. We're going to do one song this month. You guys help us choose which one. What do you think about this song? And on top of it, you could do gaming too. There's a million billion different things you could do. But I definitely want your gamers.
We were just talking about streaming Demon Souls as soon as we get a 5.
Nice. I suck at games, I have like a really, really nice computer for games, and the only thing I ever do is like CS:GO. So that's it. But
we're not good at like Call of Duty or shooting games, but we're really
me neither. I actually just play with the bots. I'm afraid to go out with all the other people. I've been out a couple times and just get murdered. Like, no, stay there.
That's something you just have to play all day, every day, do nothing else to be the best.
Yeah. And that's actually, I kind of stopped doing video games because when I was younger, I was like into NES because I'm 38, and then get a Super Nintendo, and I got into like Final Fantasy and things like that, to where it's just it sucks your life, dude. It just sucks your life.
Yeah, but
and so
that's what we like. I'm a big old school gamer like that too, and I know he was.
I love Final Fantasy.
Final Fantasies, Mario, Sonic. I'm a big Sonic guy, Mega Man. I like all those old games the best. Personally.
And what's great though is like you can take that nowadays and you can like package it, and it's not a waste of time. If you have a band, like I think Out of Time last time we were talking about the streams, and I jumped on one of their streams and they were just playing I think Battlefront or something, and I just talked to them about nerd stuff. We talked about new Star Wars stuff that was coming out, and just you know, a lot of stuff like that.
Star
So
Wars too. Love
Mhm.
Star Wars.
very, very cool. Well, I mean, you heard everything I have to say. Do you guys have any questions for me?
Sure. What's up with your hat?
Robin?
Is it Robin?
It's Robin.
Is it Robin?
It is Robin.
I guess I'm not a comic book guy.
See,
It's okay.
I'm more of a Marvel guy myself.
Well, I mean,
I
like
also am, but you know, I'm just an all-around nerd. I mean, I got so many. I got X-Men Wolverine hat, Iron Fist. Yeah, I just
Love it.
Iron Fist.
yeah, that's one of my faves. But yeah,
I used to watch. Did he come from like a Spider-Man show? Was he in a Spider-Man show? Do you know?
I don't think he ever had a crossover. Maybe in I think in the Avengers Earth's Mightiest Heroes show, the cartoon, they had him. But I don't think he was in the older
He was
Spider-Man
in
show.
one of the shows when he was like a kid, and I used to watch that.
How old are you?
28.
28?
No, he was a kid. I wasn't a kid. I watched
okay.
the show where Iron Fist was like a teenager. And
Okay. I didn't see that one.
Teenagers. I don't know.
I think I know what you're talking about, but I'm not entirely certain. I think it was on Kids WB.
I don't know what it was, but it was him and
Spectacular
like some other.
Spider-Man?
It was like a Teen Titans kind of deal, but it was Iron Fist was one of them. I don't know.
I think that's one of the I say the newer Spider-Man show, but it just came out probably about 8 years ago or something.
Yeah, maybe.
It had like him, and they had Luke Cage on it, Power Man, and
Power Man. Yeah, that sounds familiar.
and like White Tiger's on there too. I don't know.
I think that's what I'm talking about. I don't know why. I don't even remember watching that, but I did.
That's sad. I actually missed Teen Titans because I was in college at the time, and I didn't. I love watching cartoons. I'll watch them today. My kids love watching them with me. So
I watch cartoons every day.
I was big on Teen Titans. Big. I was all in.
I got a little bit happier with the animated movies than I am with the regular ones, especially if it's the Warner Brothers.
Same. Oh my God.
They keep pushing the Snyder cut, and I'm like, why? I mean, I'm gonna watch it, but why?
Yeah.
Get into those animated movies like superhero stuff.
See,
I never tried.
I'm more of an anime type of guy.
Mhm.
But we know.
They know.
Well,
They'll know.
We know.
They'll know.
Yeah,
Especially when we stay here for a few days.
Dark Avengers Apocalypse War is a really good one if you haven't seen any yet.
I have not, but I will go check it
That
out.
and Under the Red Hood. That was a really good Batman one. But yeah, cool.
That's pretty much the question I had.
No, it's fine. I mean, the kind of point of the podcast that I'm doing right now is just kind of getting to know some bands, letting them know, like, a lot of them will drop like the emails, like you guys dropped one of your emails, and then it's like, oh, sweet. I'll give them a heads up and just talk with them through, what I want to do and see if they're interested in that.
Yeah,
And
I mean, that sounds interesting to me. I'd want to hear more about it.
mhm.
Sure. Talk details.
Cool.
Yeah, I'm interested in that.
Do
It
you
sounds
guys-
like something we want. I mean, we can't tour right now anyway.
Yeah, it sounds like stuff that we're already working toward.
We're already doing it.
anyway.
Yeah, we're already doing it.
That's cool.
We do have to do it more.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We got to do it
A
more.
lot.
Which we need to do anyway.
Yeah. We have conversations about this like
At least every other day.
every other day, at least. It's normally every day. Like, what are we gonna do next? What are we gonna do? Are we gonna make a TikTok? Are we gonna do this? Are we gonna make a video? What's the next video?
It's really just sitting down and being like, all right, every Monday or something, you guys sit down and say, okay, who's got video ideas, and you just go through them and throw some funny, stupid crap down, and then on top of it, then you can have some serious stuff, or you could here's a song thing, here's a TikTok thing, here's a this or that thing, and just plan it out. That's really all it is just planning it out, doing some storyboards for it, and you just get rolling.
Yeah, it's just we have to kind of get in the groove of doing that, because like when we film our videos, it's pretty much, hey, wear a cowboy hat and let's bring the camera, and that was it. Let's play the song a couple times, wear cowboy hats, and that was it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And that's what, music videos are great, but if you're gonna get any kind of like repeat watching of people, it's gonna be something that's gonna be more have a story, a little bit of a story behind it. Like just whether it's you been doing some silly thing, or even the behind the scenes of that, whatever that video was. I mean, it's just as much content as you can do, and there's many ways to split it all up. You can take one thing where you did and just split it up into 10 different pieces of content. So, yeah.
Still learning all that.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're
Very,
just
very
guys
cool.
that wanted to make music, and now we made this music, and we're learning. You're not done. You're far from it. That's about like 1/10 of what you had to do. Now you have to be like this content creator and t-shirt salesman, and it's all this stuff you have to do. That's not just writing cool music.
Mm-hmm. And you guys don't really have a website either, right?
We're working on it.
We're definitely.
That's in the every other day conversation.
That is a very, very big part of digital marketing, and to be able to have a website to send people back to have them. I don't know if you know anything about digital marketing and Facebook pixels and whatnot, but you can basically get back to most of the people that come to your page. So
right. Yeah, we're
you
working
can send
on
them information. Basically, you guys are on the mailing list now for my podcast, so I'm going to send you an email like freaking every week. But so like, it's just the way of the world. And I think once it's really funny too, because like I'll listen to some people talk. Like I was listening last week to Indiepreneur, I think it was, and they were talking about Bruno Mars, giant person. I'm on a list for like Michael Bublé and a couple other people. Like I'll see how they're doing, and their digital marketing is effing awful. Like they'll send you something. The Bruno Mars stuff had like, hey, click on this link and you can get 20% off my store or whatever. And it was almost kind of like a Black Friday thing, but they didn't say it. And when you clicked on the link, it was a broken link.
Yeah.
And then the girl that was on the podcast was like, well, maybe if I take the coupon code that's in the email and go to the website and try to use it, maybe it'll show up and it's just somebody's messing up an email. No, you can't use the coupon code. So, I mean, it's just failure upon failure upon failure. And that's a major artist.
Yeah.
If you can get a lower level artist on that and you get your 10,000 fans, you guys are going to be able to survive and actually thrive like in the music industry. So it's just no bands are really, really doing that very well.
I think it's hard for us because we don't know how to do that stuff. So we're like trying to pay people to do that and like all this stuff. Like we're working on it. It's just, how much of a one-man thing can you be? Like you have to know how to make videos. You have to make music, market, make websites,
Yeah, and that's a little bit, that's a little bit of where I'm kind of coming in saying like, hey, I know how to do a lot of these things. At least a way better than most bands can do them. So like one of my aspects is like I'm a producer, mixer, engineer, whatever. If you guys are interested in that, I can totally work with that all day long. I've been that for like 20 years. But this digital marketing and everything else, I've just been getting into for the last like 5 or 6. So it's definitely a new world, a new realm, and I'm really excited to get a band that like to start running January 1st, I think.
Wow.
So
yeah,
awesome. I mean, I'd love to talk to you guys again sometime, but and maybe have Johnny on.
Hopefully. Yeah, I mean, come on, this is what we do because we just go every single time he does something. We just go, John. That's all you can do. You can't change it.
That should be like one of the videos, just like just once a month, like
I'm
John
actually
videos.
surprised that he didn't show up at all.
Same.
Because listen, John is off when it comes to answering anybody or putting in any effort ever.
Yeah. No, seriously.
But we released the EP, and I think it sparked him up a little bit. Because ever since then, he's been very more talkative and involved in things. And I'm like, dude, this is great. John's actually going to get on this thing because he's like, no, he didn't.
Yeah, but that's
John. Kind of like the band leader.
What's it? Yeah,
he's kind of like the band leader. Is that John or is that one of you guys?
Oh no. John, he's the lowest on the totem pole.
John is absolutely low.
He is the lowest. He's definitely the lowest. He's lower than like people that aren't in the band have more say.
My dog has more say.
But we love him.
We really do.
And we can't kick him out.
Yeah.
His voice. It's his saving grace because like
it's his only.
And he's a real good friend.
Well, yeah, but whatever.
He doesn't show up. Not very good friend.
Yeah.
He don't show up.
Well, I got 3 out of 4. We're good.
Yeah.
So if he doesn't show up next time either, really, yeah, I mean, he's that low. Like, it doesn't.
He'll show up next time. We'll like force him to. We'll go pick him up or something.
He probably doesn't have.
Half the time, you just have to go to his house and like you literally find him and be like, "What are you doing?" Like, and he'll be like, "Oh, I didn't know." And you know, something will happen.
I had a friend like that. I didn't think he really wanted to be in the band, and I don't think he did. My friend Chris Wallace, like he just would like play with anybody. So I was like, hey, be in this punk band with me, and he did. But whenever he had a show or whenever like we had a practice or whatever, I'd have to go over to his house and be like, hey, where you at? What's going on? Be like, oh, I forgot about that.
Yep. That's Sean.
He ended up being the. You ever heard of the White Tie Fair?
Yes.
He's the lead singer of that.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So like, it's just kind of funny. Like he's in my crappy punk band.
I don't hear of any bands.
But thanks guys for coming on. Let everybody know where they can hear your stuff.
You can find us on Spotify, iTunes, Amazon Music, Apple Music, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, kind of Twitter. Yep. If you call me on my phone, I'll play you a song. Literally anywhere.
Yeah, pretty much anywhere.
Great.
Anywhere you look, search the Middle Room. You can probably search it on Google at this point.
Yeah, is the PGH afterwards? Is that Pittsburgh? Is that how you abbreviate Pittsburgh?
Yeah, that's for Instagram and Facebook.
Okay, so the Middle Room PGH, right?
Yes.
Okay. Because remember, I clicked on some links earlier and it was like broken. I'm like, oh, where are these guys at?
Well, we did change our Instagram and Facebook links like 3 times.
Oh, dang.
So I think we're done.
I think this is going to be it.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, I think.
Well, you guys have yourself a good night. Practice well and stay well as well.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Be in touch with you.
No problem. Later, guys.
Thanks.
Bye-bye.